friends, welcome back to my channel. A very special welcome if you are new, and if you are new, I am especially excited that you have joined us for this specific video because this video is a Meet the Teacher video, and it is part of the Homeschool Show and Tell collaboration that I participate in every single month. This is the first one of this school year, and I'm excited to join Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way yet again this year for this collaboration as we meet the teachers of this homeschool series for this school year. All right, so I have a list of 10 questions. If you have never seen any videos from this particular collaboration, it's all about how there is no one way to homeschool. And so it's a group of ladies that, in fact, anyone can join. If you have a YouTube channel and are about homeschooling on that channel, you can totally weigh in and make your own video to join the collaboration. If you click the link in the description box below, you can see all of those videos. If you just want to watch them, that's also great. If you want to join the collab, you can see how to do that below. I have a list of 10 questions here, and I'm going to totally just go through and I'm going to answer them. All right, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Leah. I'm a homeschool mom of 3. We homeschool with a public charter in the state of California. We live in Southern California. It is 110 degrees here today, so I'm going to actually make this quick because my dining room, which I do this filming in, does not have a vent to our air conditioning, so it is very warm in here. So I'm gonna get out of here where it is cooler very quickly. So how many years have I homeschooled? So I've been homeschooling since the very beginning with my oldest. She is in 7th grade. We started in TK, so let's count them. TK, kinder, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade, 9 years. This is our 9th year homeschooling. So this year I have a 7th grader, a 6th grader, and a 4th grader. So I can't believe I have 2 middle schoolers. That is just blowing my mind, but it's amazing. So what is the second question is, what is my homeschool style? I kind of am eclectic, but also if I was gonna like pick a hard and fast homeschool style, I would probably say Charlotte Mason, but we're not very rigid with that. So that's, I go more into it in some past videos. So if you have questions about that, I could probably link those in the comments for you. What is my favorite subject to teach? My favorite subject to teach would be, it's kind of a toss-up between history and science. I really love both our history and science curriculums, and they are both really great subjects to teach. I don't know, I feel like they're more fun. We do them as group subjects, so we do them all together as a family, and so anything we can do as a group is kind of like my favorite thing. Also, we typically do more travel, more hands-on things when it comes to like history and science, so field trips are always built around those kinds of things. Vacations are planned around those kinds of things, and so they just typically feel more fun to me. So, however, I am really looking forward to high school literature. So if you know me in real life, I'm a big reader and I love classic literature so much. So I am really looking forward to teaching classics in high school. So if I could choose only 3 homeschool tools, what would they be? You guys, this one's really hard. Okay, so it just depends on like how you take that question. So if I'm saying like, what 3 things do I need to homeschool? I for sure need books, and I for sure need a printer, and I for sure need, I don't know what else. I feel like I could get away with just those two things, maybe. Maybe the internet. If I'm saying what 3 things do I feel like make my life as a teacher easier, I'm gonna say a wireless printer, because that changed my whole life. Games, educational games, definitely makes my life as a home educator so much easier and more fun. And I feel like hands-on activities for kids to do while you are reading to them is another like big thing that we utilize in our homeschool that I feel like we could not really live without. So what inspires me as a teacher? So the person that inspired me to be a homeschool mom was my mom. My mom took her 4 children. Well, I guess my sister was a baby when we started homeschooling. There are 4 of us. I had just graduated 6th grade, so I was going into middle school at that time. The 7th and 8th grade were middle school. 6th grade was not considered middle school at that time. And my brother was going into 6th grade. And then I had a younger brother who was going into, I think, 1st grade. And she decided to take us out of private school and homeschool us all. And back in the day when she did that, homeschooling was not like a thing. That, like, people just didn't do that. And so it was crazy pants that she decided to do that, and super brave. And we didn't really, like, we knew a few other people at our church that were homeschooling, and I think that they all decided to do that like at that same time. Maybe it was, I am not sure. I was a child at that time, so I'm not entirely sure what like the whole situation was, but my school friends were like, what are you guys doing? Anyway, super brave, and she like threw herself into it, body and soul. And guys, we were very well equipped to go and do whatever we wanted to do by the time that we left my parents' home. And she continues to be an inspiration to me. I just had my first of at least 2 brain surgeries that I'm going to be having this year. And my mom really has helped us and is going to be continuing to help us in a big way this year with homeschooling my kids. So thank you, Mom, for that. But if I'm gonna like say a thing that also inspires me to continue on with homeschooling, when like the days get long and tough and you just like go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pull my hair out, I just want to quit this, is like the world we live in. I don't want my kids out there. Like, I want them to be a light in the world, but I definitely don't, you know, as a mom, I want to keep them close, and I do want to give them a certain degree of protection from that. So if you ever want to like sit down and have like a one-on-one chat with me, I will give you some like prime examples of some things. But and some people will say that I shelter my kids too much, and that's fine, but this is the lifestyle that we've chosen, and there's a reason for that. But I look at the world, and I may cry. I look at gun violence in schools that happened, you know, in some schools in the news this week, and even a school down the street from me, there was like a gun scare. because, you know, it happens at one school, so then it's going to happen at a dozen other schools, you know, in the country, because somebody's got a copycat. And, you know, like there are other things besides gun violence that I don't want for them. And so then I see that and I go, this is the reason, you know. I want to protect their innocence. I want to protect them physically. I want to protect them mentally. I want to, you know, I just want to love on them, and I want to protect the time that I have with them. I am jealous of that time, and I want to be with them, and all of those things. That is the inspiration that keeps me doing this hard thing day in and day out when I don't feel like I have the patience for it anymore and I just want to quit. So that is the long answer for that short question. Am I an early bird or a night owl? I totally used to be an early bird, but as I have gotten older, I am such a night owl. And by night owl, I mean I'm going to sleep by midnight, but I feel like that's mostly because my husband has to get up for work. So I would probably be up later than that, but we like to go to sleep together, so I'm a night owl. My favorite teacher treat: coffee, tea, candy, or chocolate? I would say, so my favorite fall treat is for sure a hot chai latte with pumpkin spice added to it, because it's just the very best thing. I don't mind an iced chai latte. I do enjoy that, like, but if it's got pumpkin in it, it needs to be hot. That's just my opinion. So like Starbucks has like the pumpkin cream drink and it tastes lovely, but I always ask them to warm it up. I think it just needs to be, fall drinks need to be warm, in my opinion. But I do love me a chai latte, like any time of the year. Do I prep and plan or go with the flow? I do both. So I plan a lot of things. I have a planner and I have some Plan With Me videos, and I may do another one soon if people want to see that. So let me know in the comments if you want to see a Plan With Me video. But I do everything in erasable pen because I also know that I can plan very meticulously and something is going to come up and mess that up. So I always try to just know that it's not going to go exactly the way that I think it should go and be okay with it. So I am giving myself a lot of flexibility in my planning, and then I can erase it and I can change it. So for instance, because of the surgery that I was knowing that I was going to have the first week of school, we're with a charter school, and so we have a set day that the first day of school is supposed to be. I was like, well, I'm gonna have surgery that week, so I don't want to have to do school that week. We're gonna do school, we're gonna start a week ahead of time. But the school, our teacher facilitator, wonderful as she is, didn't get my big kids' books ordered in time for them to arrive. So I had everything like written out in the planner, like I knew what they were all gonna do, but their books didn't arrive, and so we didn't start school that week. So then I had to just move everything back the 2 weeks, because we did not do school the week. Well, my mom did a little bit with them, but we didn't do school like I was gonna do school the first week of school. So it's homeschool. We can be flexible. What is something, this is the last one, what is something you really enjoy outside of being a homeschool parent? Oh, fun fact time. So I love musical theater, and I actually do quite a bit of musical theater. I do painting behind the scenes, so I do set painting for a local community theater, as well as I am often seen on stage in a lot of their productions. It is Lifehouse Theater. It is in my community. So I am not going to say exactly where it is or exactly where I am because internet safety, but it is within driving distance of where I am. We love that theater. It is a Christian community theater, and they put on terrific productions, and we enjoy so much being a part of it. Sometimes I do it with my kids, and sometimes I do it just as an outlet to do something myself, and we just really enjoy doing that. But I have been doing set painting for the last year, and I also really enjoy art. Painting, sewing, you know, any kind of like artistic endeavor, and gardening I have discovered just in the last 2 years that I really, really enjoy doing that, getting outside and putting my hands in the dirt, making things grow and that kind of thing. So that is all about this particular homeschool teacher. I would also love if you guys feel like sharing with me, if you want to do it in the comments, or if you want to make your own video, that would be super awesome. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Have a good night. All right, you guys, so this is the part of the video where I share something from my real life, or I share a funny story, also from my real life, I guess. So I was trying to think, what have I been doing? Because I've been kind of just at a standstill the last week or so. There's not really been a lot of entertaining things happening to me as I've been sitting around my house recovering from surgery. I had a angiogram of my brain done last week, and so I have been sitting around recovering from that. So nothing exciting or fun or funny has really been happening, except for I have been doing a lot of online shopping. So I had, before the surgery, gotten, you guys, it's September or so, but, well, I'm just gonna say this. Every single year, one of my kids finds a way to make the request for the most difficult to find Halloween costume of all time. I have 3 kids. So usually 2 of them super simple. So like last year, one of them wanted to be a Snorlax, which is a Pokemon. Easy. Tons of choices for that. One of them wanted to be Angel from Lilo and Stitch, so like the pink Stitch character. Super easy. The third one wanted to be an orange cat. You'd think that this was going to be easy. It was not easy. It was very difficult. And she wanted a specific kind of orange cat. She wanted like one of those onesie things, like the pajama type that like zips up the front. She didn't want like a skirt and a tail and a top or whatever. She didn't want that. With a headband, she wanted a hooded onesie. It was really hard to find, guys. It took me like a month to track down this costume. So this is why I'm telling this story right now, when we have a lot of time before Halloween, because there's always one. This year, it's not, I mean, I feel like this year it's not like so difficult. So I have one that's gonna be Wendy. So that was the orange cat kid from last year. So at least this year she's easy. I have one that's gonna be a pirate princess. So she's a pink pirate, easy. And then one that wants to be Jessie from Toy Story, but she's in middle school, so we can't do the like little jumpsuit costume that has like the one little tiny piece of Velcro in the back. We have to do an actual, you know, middle schooler tween costume. And that's really hard to find. So I found her a shirt, I found her a belt, I found her a, you know, a hat and a yarn wig, and she's gonna wear her own jeans, but I have to make her a pair of like little cow chaps, which is fine. So Tim and I are gonna go as Tinkerbell and Captain Hook. And I was like, cool, Tim already has, like, we do theater, like I mentioned. So Tim used to do theater. He doesn't really do theater much anymore, but he used to. So we have some things that will work for a Captain Hook costume. I just had to buy the hat and the wig. We even have a hook, I think. But I could get a hook at the 99-cent store. Not a big deal. Anyway, so I'm like looking at Tinkerbell costumes. This is where we get to the funny part of the story. Or hopefully funny. Guys, I'll show you what I ended up buying, but because it's not a costume, it's a dress. I have looked at 1,000 Tinkerbell costumes. There are almost none that cover both the top and the bottom parts of you. There are none. I mean, I understand that Tinkerbell herself, the cartoon drawn character, is not a very modest gal. However, I don't think the girl who is at Disneyland, we have met her at Disneyland, the character Tinkerbell. I feel like even though her costume is not like, you know, up to her neck or, you know, down to her ankles or whatever, I feel like still all of her parts are covered. Why can I not buy a costume where all of my parts would be covered? I don't understand it. So anyway, I will put as an overlay here what I ended up buying, and I will still have to like create some things for like the accessories or whatever, because obviously I did not buy a costume, so it's not gonna come with like the little pom-poms for the shoes and all, you know, like the things. But like, who would have thought that this particular thing would have been that difficult to create? I wouldn't have thought. I wouldn't have thought it would be that hard. So, what has been the most difficult for you guys to come up with costume? I one time had to create an entire pink flamingo costume. I think that was like probably the hardest one. We did as a family costume one time. We did like dragons and dragon riders. So Tim was Hiccup and I was Astrid, and our kids were all the little white baby dragons from How to Train Your Dragon one year. We did Wizard of Oz characters one year. We have done, my kids were all minions. Well, before we had Charlotte, I had 2 little minions. My brother was Gru one year. I was pregnant, I think, that year, maybe? No, that was a different year. Tim and I have been Minnie and Mickey. I was pregnant that year. I have been, we've been Mary Poppins and Bert, Tim and I, before we had kids. We used to love to do a themed costume. Now our kids are not really wanting to do that so much. Although when Beth found out that we were going as Captain Hook and Tinkerbell, she did say, "I'll be Wendy." And I thought that was sweet. So she's almost 13. She's gonna be 13 by the time that Halloween hits. I was like, I will take it. My big teenager. This will probably be the last time that she wants to match and do a family Halloween costume with me. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will talk to you in the next one.